What's good, lows and lets, kings and queens, friends and fiends? Welcome back to the review channel. And today we're talking about The Great Milenko, the most popular album in ICP's whole discography. We're going to talk a little bit about history. I'm going to go track by tracks, and I'm going to introduce you all to my new co-host that said he'd only come on if I got 300 followers. We made it. So he has agreed to come on. And I got the filter again today. Wiki J said it was badass, so I had to do it again. Up top, I want to say thank you to all my new followers, all my old followers, especially fake Keanu Reeves. You know, look at my list of followers. You'll see fake Keanu Reeves in there. He's only got 1,000 followers himself and like 30 videos. Man, everybody is based except for fake Keanu Reeves. Everybody. All right. So, for the history part, in 1997, I was about 7 years old, and I couldn't go anywhere without hearing songs from The Great Milenko, certain ones. I heard, of course, the Great Milenko, which is like not the intro track, but the second track that talks about like everything. Well, we'll go track by track later. But I heard that everywhere. Let's see, I heard the Netting Game. Excuse me here while I circle through these. I think that's it for the big popular ones that I heard everywhere. I didn't hear the other ones till later. But I didn't even know who ICP was, but I knew a couple of their songs by then. I spent like a good 10 years like wondering about those songs sometimes. Like, what happened to those old weird songs about like a wizard or something? At this time, ICP had left Jive Records because they weren't promoting them at all. And it just wasn't a profitable situation for ICP. They basically found out that they could promote themselves a lot better. Their manager, Alex Abyss, came up with an idea. They were just like, let's throw a dart at a board of the United States, and wherever it lands, that's where we're going to promote and make it the new clown town. And it landed on Dallas, Texas. And so they went to Dallas, Texas, and became like super big there, and just decided that they could promote themselves way better than Jive Records could. But then their manager, Alex, got them another deal with Hollywood Records, which was owned by Disney. And so at first they were worried about being signed to a record label that was owned by Disney, but they're like, no, Disney actually owns a lot of stuff. Disney actually makes horror movies. You don't even know about it because, yeah, they just owned a lot of stuff that wasn't, Disney cartoons that people didn't know about. So they went ahead and made The Great Milenko on there, and it ended up getting like censored in a couple of songs because some like right-wing religious groups were like really pressing down on Disney to really make their stuff more wholesome, I guess, and it got all the way down to Hollywood Records, and it messed with ICP's stuff, and so they weren't really happy about that. Alex got them another deal with Island Records, where The Great Milenko released for a second time on that. And that was a more uncensored version. So let's go track by track. But first, let's introduce my new co-host. Give me a second here. It's my new co-host, JM. What does JM stand for, buddy?
Juggalo Muppet, y'all. What's up, y'all? We're going to talk about Great Milenko, but I can't see because the hat is over my eyes.
Let me help you out there.
That's better. All right. Let's do this.
All right, let's do this, guys. All right, so let's talk about the intro track. Famous intro track where, you know, some country people are in a country bar and they hear, you know, the mysterious voice coming over the jukebox and everything. That was actually Alice Cooper, the legendary Alice Cooper, made it a cameo in this thing. And they actually got him like right off the golf course. He agreed to stop golfing, go over and record this real quick, and then he just rode his golf cart right back onto the golf course. So that's a fun bit of history there. The Great Milenko comes next, and it's a pretty good, solid intro track. If you take a look at how much they've grown since Carnival of Carnage, where Carnival of Carnage just like repeated the name over and over again. Great Milenko does that pretty much too, but it also goes into a lot more of what he is and stuff like that.
And the song's dope as hell, homie. Love this shit.
Next we got Hocus Pocus, and it's one of the most memorable ICP songs probably ever. It's probably like, if I had to introduce somebody to an ICP song for the first time, this is probably the one I would choose. It just got that beat. Hocus Pocus, Jocus ride, come take a spin with Carney ride. Man, it's just like one of the most awesome songs like ever made. And then we have Piggy Pie, which is a song about killing rednecks and a cop and Richie. And it sucks on this version. I'm not gonna lie, I will never listen to the version on the Great Milenko album when I can listen to the Forgotten Freshness old school version, which is uncensored and just a lot better. And old school Kurt actually said that the next song is his favorite track, and that's How Many Times. I like how like ICP is starting to get a little bit more philosophical with their stuff. Let's see here. Southwest Voodoo is a really funny song. Really like the part where they're talking about raising zombies in the graveyard, and the zombies come up and they're like, "Leave us alone, you fucking punk bitch." Under the Moon is one of ICP's like legitimately scary tracks. It's about a kid that falls in love with a girl in high school, and then he ends up killing a guy over her and goes to jail. And then she says she's going to visit him, and then she never does. And he remembers the whole time he's in there, he's thinking about her. And then he's like, slowly starts to like, he's going to say he's going to kill her and stuff like that. And then he remembers what she says, that they'll always be together because they're both under the moon. So it's like poetic, but at the same time, creepy and awesome. And next time we'll talk about what is a juggalo on part 2. So follow for more. You got anything, Juggalo Muppet?
Peace out, fam. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop, y'all.